Don't be afraid of once you get this spot down of of marking things up. Kind of here, so go back. Here's an example of where I know the height that I want the tripod to be at. It's a pretty common one. So I'll mark that with some Sharpies so I'm not having to adjust the height or set it up. The camera itself, I will, like I said, if I've walked through and I've got multiple, and you can't really see it well on this picture, and I don't know if I can show it. Well, I'll mark multiple points, focal points on the camera, which is possible to do, right? You can, it's a free floating dial, but you can rotate it in one direction and you can mark off your infinity and then back off to what the proper infinities might be for that setting. So, and could you guys still hear me? I'm just,
Yes.
okay, cool. I just got a notice that I got an erratic internet connection. So if I lose connection, let me know. So this is also, so this is a panoramic head that, again, I won't try to show, but I'll zoom in a little bit on it. It's a it's a really nice head, a precision 360 head. It's old. I do need to get myself a new panoramic head. So now I know who to talk to. But it has multiple settings for, it's kind of a universal. I forget which one this is, but it's not set for a specific camera and rigging. And it's very versatile. And so some of the settings can be in between. If you're on site and it starts to get dark, you can't quite line things up. This one's actually not the one that I did a chisel mark on. This was the one that I did before where I just took two pieces of tape and then I took some white model paint and I painted out what my settings are. So this is for shooting for pretty standard 15 millimeter lens. I shoot one up, six at 30 up, six at 30 down. But I've got 45, 60. I've got all these different settings on here. It doesn't take much to miss. And so I've painted these settings on there. So when I'm on a dark thing or the client's talking to you or something, you don't mess that kind of stuff up.
So what I'll do is I'll take a sample selection and do a test merge to HDR in Photomatics. You'll see that they have a couple standard versions. I almost always will go for neutral. At times, that's a fusion neutral, fusion blending. At times, tone map realistic works well. I rarely go beyond those, but then I have personal adjustments that I like to make, maybe increasing the strength a little bit, maybe increasing or decreasing brightness. But once I get it set to what I want it to look like, then I'll finish the processing of this one. And then those recordings are in Photomatics. So then what I do is I go to bracketing and I select the folder, which in this case was the brackets folder. And in this case, I shot three brackets of three. For me, it's usually brackets of 3 or 5. 5 is more common. And then set that once they're all processed, they go to another folder, in this case called parts. Um, Here's the other thing. As far as style, go to all styles. And then as far as preset, go to previous session, non-batch. That was the setting that I did in my test merge. And that way it'll be used in all of the merges that you do in Photomatics, which you will now do in bulk. Uh, if you need to do some other custom things, like actually in this particular case, a mild contrast added to it, if you need to align images, like if they were handheld, or if there's ghosting, do that here, and then you just run it.
So
And
basically, I've done is I transferred the image that I shot yesterday from the camera to my computer, and I've got the DNG file here, and I've already I bring this into Lightroom, so I have it here, and let me go ahead and get rid of me. There you go. And so anyways, I have it in, I'm going to hit develop. And this is my friend Joseph, bartender here, passing me a beverage. So in any case, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go up here and hit auto. And boom, just kind of, there you go. I purposely, underexposed it because I'm sitting, against a, big area with light pouring in from the patio, etc. And I just always do auto first, and then kind of starting from the bottom, I'll just kind of tweak the sliders here until it feels like what it looks like actually being there. So drop that down. And the Lightroom Classic, of course. Shadows. Bring down the highlights. Just kind of hoping you could see more of the patio, but it was pretty bright. Contrast is good. All right, so that's pretty decent. Again, I was hoping to get more greenery out here, but there you go. So in any case, so after this point, then I'll come down to the denoise button. This is where everything, when I learned, when Adobe came out with this, I was like, wow, this is incredible. Because again, I mean, this is great, but it's just so much noise in it. So in any case, go ahead and pop that on. And usually I'll just kind of go to a face, maybe not that face. Anyways, let's just go here and see what looks best. I know that if you do this too much, it turns your image kind of into I like a cartoon. Here, let's go to this guy's face. Or let's see here, let's be mine. Okay, that's, no one wants to see that. So anyways, I'm going to drop this down to, I find that around 50 seems to work pretty well. And then you just kind of move this, and then there you go. I don't look too cartoony, and hit enhance. And any case, and this takes about, few seconds here. But this, once again, with the denoise, or denoise, I mean, however you want to pronounce it, it just changes everything. Because again, these images were kind of, they were fun for like parties and, nature and stuff like that. But this feature right here makes this image, worth $100 to my clients. So